Hey, this is Al from Transformational Gaming. Appreciate you coming by. Appreciate you coming to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Mr. Phil Spencer. Today, Phil Spencer decided to buy Activision. Actually, it was yesterday. I made a video yesterday, but I decided to do this recording over again so that we can have a succinct, concise version of what my thoughts were. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about my thoughts on the acquisition of Microsoft acquiring Activision. Before we get into all of that, I'd like to send shots out to you guys. You guys have been great. We're up to 219 subscribers, man. And I am just so proud of you guys. And I appreciate you coming to the channel. And thank you for all the well wishes for the last video where I did an unboxing for the Pokes. You guys are so great. All right, getting back into it. So our guy Phil Spencer decided that, you know, since Call of Duty was like exclusive to the PlayStation last year, I think we're just going to buy Activision. You know, I first seen this on Digital Foundry, so shouts out to them. And man, I just think this is totally ridiculous. But I do think John is right. Phil Spencer, he seen blood in the water, and he was like, look, let's just go ahead and buy them so they won't have Call of Duty on their console anymore. But, you know, I'm not sure exactly what the business function is going to be. Call of Duty could appear on PS5, you know. Microsoft is making money regardless. But I think Microsoft is wanting to put foots in Sony's neck. So I think that's really what Microsoft is going to do. I think Microsoft is doing what Rockefeller did in his time. Rockefeller used to go about his competition by setting up a gas station next to his competition and basically dropping the price to barely nothing. And so I think that's what Phil Spencer's doing and Microsoft's doing. They're just saying, you know what, we can't beat them in talent as far as the games are concerned. So we're just going to get this Game Pass. We're going to absorb all the subsidiary prices, and we're going to just run Sony out of business by having all our games for virtually nothing, all our third-party games for virtually nothing on our platform, so that players can play for free and players can play on any device they want to. Now, I honestly do not think that this is going to work. Look at our man Jim Cramer. That's my man right there. Pause. But that's my man right there. Jim Cramer, man, he puts it down, man. I like Jim Cramer. But getting back to the subject, yeah, Phil Spencer is just trying to run Sony out of business by selling cheaper third-party titles. But the question is it going to work? Now, here's what I hope don't happen. I hope Sony don't go into this situation where they're going to open up their own service and start giving out free games. I don't think that's a good business model at all. I think only Microsoft can do a business model because they make money elsewhere. I mean, don't get me wrong, Sony does too, but I mean, people ain't going out there and buying Sony TVs. Okay? But Windows is constantly being licensed. So there's no way, if you work in the software industry, you're going to be using TFS and the rest of these, you know, Sprint type of processes so that you can process your deliverables and Kubernetes and all that other stuff, man. All that stuff is Microsoft driven, and Microsoft got all type of licenses and things like that. It's absolutely bonkers. So they're making money like nobody's business because about 90% of the shops in America are from Microsoft. So my hopes is that Sony don't try to go down that road, because Microsoft is making a terrible amount of money. It's not even a good amount of money. It's a terrible amount of money. But they're going to use this. They're going to subsidize all Activision's games now that they purchased them. It's much easier to subsidize versus if they're a separate entity. But they're trying to accumulate IPs, and I honestly believe that a lot of the developers are going to split from Microsoft, and they're going to go ahead and either open up their own companies or they're going to join Sony or Nintendo. But for the most part, I don't see Microsoft letting any of these games go to Sony. Sony is the enemy. They're the enemy. They've won last generation. Phil Spencer doesn't like that. Microsoft doesn't like that. The chairman at Microsoft doesn't like that. Microsoft stock has been dropping. It just went up today. So Microsoft can do what they need to do in order to stay on top with the competition. And they're using their money to go out here. I mean, $70 billion. Come on, man. Nobody wills that type of money, man, except for the government. I mean, they just tossing around $70 billion. I mean, my God. That is a lot of money, man. $70 billion, man, to F this company straight up. Because that's what's going to happen, man. I don't think any games are going to come out of Activision. I think Activision is actually going to suffer. I mean, you see the Rares of the world, and even with Bethesda, I mean, you haven't seen any new games come out for them. You just hear a bunch of promises. But I will say this. Phil Spencer is tidying up. Instead of bloviating and saying all this stuff like 4K textures, he's actually making moves, then coming out and bloviating, which makes him look better in the long run. So, shouts out to Phil Spencer. Shouts out to Microsoft. I'm actually enjoying my Series X. I've been playing my Series X a lot. Unfortunately, there's no games on Series X. There's only one game that I want to play on Series X, which is Assassin's Creed Part 1 in 60 frames per second. So, there's that. But, hey, I agree with John Linneman, man. They smell blood in the water. And anytime a company's weak, Microsoft is going to go over to them and make them an offer. And my God, $70 billion. Whew, that's a lot of money, man. And I'm not even sure Facebook, Amazon, I don't think none of those other companies can just do that. Just come off the cuff with $70 billion. I don't think any of those other companies can do that. So, but anyway, that's just about it. Tell me what you guys think. Do you like the acquisition? Do you think this makes Microsoft a lot better? I don't think any of those games are going to come out. The Call of Duties, all of that stuff. There's going to be so much infighting, and Phil Spencer is going to be laughing. Ha 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 ha. I didn't plan on you coming out with these games on anyway. I just don't want them on PlayStation. Comment, like, subscribe. Appreciate everything. This is Al from Transformational Gaming, and may the truth set you free. Later.